Hello, Gretchen Sharpless here from Gretchen Sharpless Studio. Did you know that you can take an art print, a paper print, and add to it, like embellish it yourself? You can do paint, you can do glitter, markers, metallic paint, really anything you want, and make it look more like it's an original painting. It's going to have some texture and some added color to it, and it'll look more like an original. Not that a print is bad, it's not at all, but it'd be just fun to embellish this yourself. So you can go to my website, GretchenSharplessStudio.com, order one of these. This is the Living Water series. It's one of 4 designs. Pick whatever design you want, whatever size you want, and once you get that in, you can apply what we're going to work on today together. I'm going to show you some different techniques, different things you can add. So, and you'll want to get these before October 1st. These are coming down, well, before that, September 30th, these will come down, and I will add another collection on my website October 1st. Couldn't think of the month. So what's going to release next is the Santas behind me. Not all of these, of course, this one's not even finished yet. I'm working on that one and also on that one. But some of these over here will be available. There'll be prints and merchandise as well for sale on my website. And so that will be available. So the reason I'm mentioning those is because they're coming October 1st. This is coming down. This is what we're going to work on today as the project. And this will be coming down at the end of this month. So you only have a short time to order these and apply what we're going to work on today together. So let me get set up, and okay, we're going to get to work here. Here is one of the prints. This one is called Living Water, Go Deep. She's sitting at the bottom of a body of water on a vintage settee, love seat, as you would do. I mean, don't we all sit at the bottom of the water? So what I want to do is add some glitter. This is glitter glue. This brand is Basic, B-A-Z-I-C, and I got this at a dollar store that we have here in our town, and it's not like a Dollar General, Family Dollar, anything like that. It's like a return outlet, so you're not going to be able to go to that store. So any glitter glue will work, and this is an iridescent color. And I'm just going to follow, I've got sun streaks here, and I'm just going to follow some of these sun streaks and add some of this glitter, like those light rays are just glittery, as they are. You know, we've seen light rays look very glittery. So I think that, yeah, that'll do on that one. Can you see that glitter? I'm hoping. It's very pretty. I'm loving the look of that. And then I've got a dark blue that I want to add. Kind of, this is the background, you know, you can see off into the distance of the water. And I want to add some of that glitter there. Just a little bit, and then I'm going to rub my finger in it. So you don't just have a big blob, you can kind of smear it around. Might put a little over here. And then the other thing I want to do is I have got Posca markers, and you can get these at Hobby Lobby. You can get them at Walmart, even sells them. Walmart will have one collection for a while, and then they'll bring on another one. This is just basic colors. I don't even see 8 colors. That's all it says. It doesn't even say. So it's kind of primary colors, basically. So I want to take some of the white and outline her dress that's floating up in the water. I think it'll just make it a little more pronounced in the print. You just trace the line that I've painted there in my original. You can just trace some of those lines. Some of the, oh, you know what we ought to do? And I've got silver as well. So I am going to add she's got bubbles coming up from her nose and her mouth. And I'm going to add, just dot some silver. Oops, that one's a little much. You can wipe some of it off with your finger. I'm just going to dot some of those bubbles. And then also I've got a light blue out of that same color package. And you've got swirlies. Can you see that? Kind of where the water was swirling at the up on the surface. I'm just going to trace those. And you know what we need to do is highlight some fish. So I've got this other set, Posca markers, and they're called soft colors. And again, you can get these, like I said, at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or somewhere like that, or Michael's. And this is an orange color, coral pink. And I'm going to highlight one of these little goldfish. Just going to kind of trace him there. Let that stand out a little, bring him out so you can see it. And then this one's back in the background, so I'm not going to bring him forward. And then this is also got kind of a yellowy, orangey color, apricot called. And I'll put it on the little highlights that I had here on the fish, in his cheek and on his belly, his fins. This one as well had some little highlights. That's just going to make him pop out a little bit. They're so cute. Oh, and then maybe I'll add to the couch here. And then you can highlight on the couch here. And you know what? There's some yellow up in here. Let's, up in here, you can just add to all these yellow highlights on the leaves and where the sun's filtering it through. She's got some yellow on her neck and on her forehead from the sun shining in on her. Okay, all right, that's all I'm going to do on this one. Those colors are really popping. Yeah, I'm hoping you can see that on the video. Well, I'll post pictures at the end of this. And then I've got another one here, real quick. We're going to do these very quickly because I filmed this once before and each one took 40 minutes. That's a little long, a little too much time. So again, I'm going to use this dark blue, and they don't have a color on them listed. So you'll just want to find a color similar to the hair. So I'm going to work on this one now, and she's called Living Water Abide. And I painted this in Greece while I was on an art retreat. So I was very inspired by the ocean there and the water. And this was a mixed media painting, so it's got all kinds of collage in the background. It was a lot of fun to paint. So I got a lot of glitter there, so I'm going to smear that in some other places with my finger here. And okay, that'll just make that hair pop a little bit. And what else do we want to do? So also, when I'm painting my mixed media pieces, I do lots of circles, and I do dots with different markers and oil pastels and things like that. So I've got these green circles here, and I'm going to trace those. And I probably did that. I either did it with an oil pastel, I can't remember, or one of these Sakura markers. So these you have to get. I don't know that Hobby Lobby or Michael's will carry these, but it's a solid paint pen. And I ordered these on dickblick.com. And this is just green, I think they call it. They only have, I think, like 5 colors, maybe a few more. They've got a neon line and then just a white, black, blue, maybe some yellow. But this is my very favorite color of theirs. And I'm just going to go around these circles that I had already done on the original painting, just to kind of highlight those, make them pop. After you frame this, that'll just pop and be so pretty. And if you can't find the Sakura, I know there's other acrylic paint markers out there or paint pens. So anything will do. You know, you can just get just a shade of green. See how that made that pop? It's so pretty. And then these dry permanently, and you just have to give them a minute to dry. And then another thing I love to do, and that's probably what these were. You can see these dots here. I just take my Sakura and I just make marks on there. And so I'm going to trace those as well. And you always want to do odd numbers. Your brain, you know that odd numbers are pleasing to look at. Even numbers aren't so pleasing. So you always want to. They do that in design and everything. So you just want to follow along with that. Now, I also have these little. These are a different brand, and I'm going to use this. This is a pink, and I'm going to kind of trace this flower here. This was a piece of collage paper that I added. Let me get it shaken down a little bit here. Yeah, here it comes. And I'm just going to trace those petals. Now that was divided up because I painted over part of the flower in the original painting and put her shoulder there. But that's okay. You can just trace what you can see. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then here's some little flowers too. You just add a little glitter here and there. And let's add some to her cheek. Do a little kind of some blush here. That'd be cute. And then I have a red we'll add to her lip. We'll do pink blush and red lips because that's, well, her blush was kind of orangey and which is just fine, but oops, that came out more gel-like and no glitter. I didn't get a rag here. I should have gotten a rag. Still not finding any glitter here. Here comes some glitter. And if you have regular glitter, you know, the powdery type glitter like this, you could add any kind of glue like a Mod Podge or something with a little bitty paintbrush and sprinkle that on if you'd rather do it that way. So I think that's all we're going to do here. Now you can keep going. Once you get your print in and you've got it, you know, just keep going and add as much as you want or as little as you want. You don't even have to add that much. And you can add acrylic paints or, you know, any kind of paint. Watercolor is probably not going to work on these. It's just not going to be dark enough to show. Okay, and then I've got this one. I did work on this one a little when I was filming those others, so I want to show you what I did. I've got this yellow Posca marker, and there was some sun shining down on her, and I'm going to highlight that. Now this one was called Living Water Plunge In. You can find that on the website. So I'm just kind of tracing some of the yellow that I had painted in the original painting. Behind her, the sun was shining down. It's on her face and behind her hair. I'm just going to kind of trace over that with this yellow and make it really pop. Anywhere you see some little yellow, you can just trace it. I had some in the flower here as the sun was shining on it. Okay, that's so cute. Oh, there's some more over here. Let me add to that. And then so I use a stencil a lot of times and then I spray paint through it, and I had one up here and I'm going to trace over that. It was done in a mint green, and I've got a mint green Posca here. It came in this set, again, the soft colors. And I'm just going to try, it was kind of a round thing with some scallopies, and I'm just going to trace the round part and a few of those little scallops like that. I had some mint shining through the trees, And then I had some in the water. You can trace some of that little squiggly water lines in the water. Oh, I had some on her face. I had some different colors on her face just to make it more interesting. You can just trace those. What else? Let's highlight the crane flying up behind her. Let's highlight that. Make him pop a little bit. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, this apricot color I've got in the flowers in these water lilies down here. Let's highlight that a little bit. I've got some of that apricot in her face here. We'll highlight that. A little spot here. All right. I've got some pink in the flowers. So I've got this pink in the soft color set as well, the Posca markers. Got some in the water. Some in her face, around her cheeks. Okay. And then in this, just the primary set, I've got this red, and it's not a true red. It's kind of it's a pinky red. And I'm going to add just a little bit on her lip. I'm going to outline that. If you don't want it dark, you can dot it. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of this light blue to just a dot to her eye here and there, just to make those pop. And it did. It worked. So, okay. The other thing I wanted to do is add some white to the waterfall to make it pop. Got some splashes here, just with a feathery motion. You can trace those. And dots like it's spraying out. Just some little lines here and there of water. We can outline this flower. Just a few. Okay. Should we do a highlight? Let's do a highlight on her face and on the tip of her nose. All right, I think we're done with that one as well. Like I said, you can go as much or as little as you want on yours. And then I've got this one. Now this one was kind of a misprint, so I'm going to use it for demonstration purposes. Now, here's something that I did earlier. It was a metallic paint, and I had a little tiny paintbrush, and I went over that when I filmed the other one. So that's already done. Use a metallic gold paint, which you can get anywhere, and just make that crown pop. It's beautiful. So I'm going to, again, take my Sakura marker, and I like to outline my subject matter a lot when I'm painting my originals. So I wanted to go around that goose, or swan, I'm sorry, and I've got a few pops of that color on the lily pads. Add those in. Again, with the Posca and I like to, since I had to make this black, this was a round canvas. This one and this one, they were round canvases, and you can't get a round print. You probably could a sticker, but not a round print. So I had to go in with some apps and I made that background black, but I just kept this one white. So I'm going to make this black bleed onto the print here and just do some of my dots that I like to do. And then just add that just for fun. Okay. I've got some white kind of behind her in the original. We're just going to enhance that a little bit. Ooh, add some to the goose. We'll add our Posca markers, the soft colors again, to and trace some of that water. She's cupping water in her hand and letting it run over. Oops, I'm getting in that paint. You've got to let that dry. I'm left-handed. I always lay my hand down in paint. She's letting that water run over her hands. And then let's enhance some water lines here. Okay, that's good. And then I've got some lavender in the soft color, and that's the color I had in the, lotus flowers, I guess they are. And I am going to add a little of that, add some pops there. Okay, and then I had written in the background, streams of living water will flow, which is the name of this painting, Water Will Flow. And I am going to trace just a little, not a solid line on these letters, but just highlight some of it to make that pop. That's cute. Okay. And like I said, I already did the crown, so take some metallic paint and enhance that crown. Alrighty, that's it. That's all we're going to do today. That's those 4. And I will post pictures of those all finished and put them on the video here. So order your prints and embellish them yourself. Gosh, sorry. Or you know what? I just thought of this. You could ask me to do it. I could embellish them for you. If you're a little scared, you can order a print and I can embellish it and then ship it to you if you'd rather do that. So of course there'd be a small charge for that, but thank you so much for joining me. This was fun. I hope you enjoy it as well.